Hey, Rich, am I the asshole for telling the wife? Here's a story. Am I the asshole? Off of Reddit. Am I the asshole for telling the wife? She says, hi, it's a throwaway account because some people, the story speak English and use Reddit. Okay, so here's this lady. She's 23, female. She met a guy at a dating app. He's 30, male. And the dude and her started going out. They were having a pretty good time. One red flag she ignored is that he didn't have social media. He said he didn't because he's a lawyer and that can go bad. Her dad, she said her dad's a lawyer, but she didn't understand why it would go bad, but she kind of let it go. She says, last week he slept in my house and forgot his phone. So when I got his phone to find one of his friend's numbers to let him know that I had it, I saw a message from his wife.
What?
Without thinking, I opened it up and it was full of sweet messages from her and him. That's nice. That's nice. You know, you can have a sweet relationship with your wife, and because it's a man, he can have something that's purely physical that does not impact his desire to protect and provide for and to love exclusively his wife. It's just a physical thing for a dude. Whereas you have to imagine that in a traditional sense, a woman may not necessarily get mad if a dude is just sleeping with a different lady as long as he's not committing any emotional or physical resources. Whereas a dude, usually it's the opposite. It's like if a lady is having any kind of an emotional affair with some dude and it's all online, it's like, why could he care less as long as she's not stripping and bending over for the guy? You know, we men and women are different. We tend to, you know, be nervous about different things. Like a good 23-year-old, because she's young, she called one of her friends, cried her eyes out, and then the friend told me I should tell the wife that it was not fair that she didn't know. So she had her friends find out information about how to find his wife. So she went onto the lady's Instagram and saw pictures of the two sons and her boyfriend, and it had a bunch of motivational posts about her battling cancer and and all this sort of thing.
Makes him laugh.
She wound up messaging her and telling her what was up. And here's what happened. The next day, I woke up from angry messages from him, which is expected, and to my surprise, from her. She sent a bunch of messages angry at me, saying that I was a homewrecker and that by telling her that that her good life was ruined because she was still sick with cancer, but now she also had an unfaithful husband that she knew was unfaithful. So the girl just said sorry and blocked both of them. I guess I just want to know if I did the right thing by telling her. So am I the asshole?
I mean, definitely, she's definitely not in the wrong, I don't think, but because she didn't know all the ramifications of what's going on. The guy is definitely in the wrong, in my opinion. But
The guy is the asshole.
the guy is definitely the asshole, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't think she did anything wrong, in my opinion. No.
What, to blow the whistle?
She blew the whistle,
Yeah.
So like, he was the one that's totally wrong. But I think the woman, the wife that's battling with cancer, she was in the wrong for going off on this girl. Like, yes, it hurt her feelings and stuff like that, but like, that girl was actually thinking in her own best interest, for the wife that has cancer's best interest. And and if she couldn't see that, I don't know if she could see it at all. She was maybe so like, she didn't want to mess up her idealized life that this made it crash down. So she lashed out at this innocent girl that didn't know anything. Because yes, she's technically a homewrecker, but there was no intention behind her being a homewrecker.
Well, so, maybe that's just it. Just to be devil's advocate, she had no intention of being a homewrecker, but she had no intention of anything at all. So I would say that although she showed compassion in her impulse to do it, at least in part, and a lot of things, what people say, and sometimes in particular, modern women, what they say and what really motivates them can be two completely and totally different things. I think we've seen plenty of examples about how, in particular, modern women, maybe not women of a certain age who are established, Certainly no women business owners. I've never met a women business owner that runs away from accountability. That's the big knock on modern women, that they're accountable for nothing and offended by everything. So, but I've never seen a woman in business who actually owns her own business and actually pays employees and has to go home thinking about, gee, is the place going to burn down overnight? I mean, that's what a business owner thinks about every night. But I've never seen a business owner like that, a female who lacks accountability or who, is good at deluding herself. And usually they're the most empathetic. So there's no doubt that this girl, at least to some degree, has some compassion. Also, I think it was her way of getting revenge on the guy.
Of course.
So I think there's a lot of that. I think she's not really looking at that. But the lady's post did say that she had cancer. And a 23-year-old is going to do goofy things and say things maybe that they shouldn't. But really, she showed compassion, but maybe not empathy, because maybe somebody who's sick and working on something doesn't really need to hear some bad news right now, especially when the guy's probably not leaving her. He's probably being very doting and very attentive because he's got a sick wife. But maybe he's just getting what he needs because he can't get it at home.
Yeah, because she can't give him sex.
Yeah, exactly. So, or maybe she can give him sex, but to the guy's credit, maybe she's like got half her head missing, half her hair missing, and she's skinny, maybe with some scabs, and he loves her to death, but he just can't. He just can't. So he's got to get it somewhere else so that then he can with her. With the wife. I mean, there's a lot of things that we do so that we can do our job, so we can fulfill our duties, fulfill our functions in what we have to do.
I'm sure a lot of our feminist viewers, which we do have quite a few female feminist viewers, they're gonna not like that response. They're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is a fucking ratchet dude." But
well, okay, so let me ask you. So why don't you bring one of them here? And so, like, what kind of things would they say to push back? Because I'm not saying
he's
all
lying,
the answers.
he's cheating, he's an infidel.
He's an infidel. He is lying. He is cheating.
Yeah.
But isn't this sort of lying and cheating? Well, let me ask you this. So if you're a friend of a woman who's married, and she keeps a lot of male friends, and we all know that in keeping a lot of male friends, that there's some degree of I'm not necessarily gonna have sex with these male friends, but if I do wind up transitioning away from the fella I'm with, this expands my network of men, so that I'll have an automatic network and meet other men based on these men friends that I'm holding. So there is some of that, that's so they can do the famous monkey branching, from one relationship to another, where they spend maybe months setting up the next relationship they're going to go into.
So it's a flow.
Yeah, because when a woman walks out the door, she's not walking out that day. She walked out about 3 months ago. It's different from us. By the time we walk out, we're walking out because there was a last straw. But for a woman, typically, it's not really a last straw. Or the last straw happens about 3 months before. But then what they do is many of them they create their exit strategy, because they don't want to leave to nothing. Like we dudes, we'll just leave to nothing, and then we'll work on our grind and make ourselves better.
Okay, let me ask you this question: what if the husband? Let's use this scenario. The husband had cancer, and since he has cancer, he can't work, and
Right.
he can't provide, and so the wife goes on a dating app and meets a guy, don't even have sex with the guy, but the guy is a millionaire or very well-to-do.
Yeah.
And she likes being taken out, wine
Right.
and dine
Sure,
like
yeah.
that. So even though she never physically cheated on this guy or husband who has cancer, who can't financially provide for him because he has cancer now,
Right.
but she still misses being wined and dined and going on nice little romantic getaways for a day or two.
Right.
Is that the same thing as this?
So in effect, she's cheating. I mean, we can even add the element that she is having sex with the millionaire who's whining and diner. Here's the thing, and it is what we don't know from this post, but I think we can assume it that that the dude goes home to his wife and is the dutiful, supportive husband. But if let's say he's not, I don't think the wife would have responded that way if he wasn't acting like the perfect husband at home, which is exactly what somebody who has a horrible illness like that needs. They need the perfect spouse. So in that regard, ideally, no, you don't want your wife to be doing that. But that's in a perfect world. But I'm a really bad sickie. Like when I have the flu, I'm just hating life. I'm just so miserable.
Maybe you need a COVID vaccine for that.
Right.
That's Dr. Fauci.
Although the funny thing about COVID is I had it and I never knew it. And the only reason I found out was because I did 2 nasal swabs on the same day. They both came back positive on a day that I wanted to go to a museum during the lockdown.
Maybe we need to start questioning those nasal swabs.
maybe, because two of them from 2 different kiosks came back positive, and it's like, well, I'm not feeling it. And one of my sons was positive too. I said, I don't feel sick. Do you feel sick? He said, nope. But we, apparently we both had it.
Yeah.
And because he had to do it for school every week, he still came up positive for like weeks after that because the antibodies stay. Shit, where were we?
We were talking about the girl who she went out with this millionaire guy.
Right. So in a perfect world, no, you don't want your wife doing that. But I'm such a bad sickie. Like if I have the tiniest of a bellyache, then I'm just bent over saying, just either waiting to die or waiting for it to pass. Because I hate that kind of thing. So if you have cancer, it must be like 100 times worse because it's not going to pass. That nausea, that disgusting feeling you have from the chemo and all that. That's not going to pass in a couple hours. That's just your life now. So I think as long as the wife comes home and looks, acts, sounds, and says she'll die for you. That kind of devotion that you have for each other. As long as she says that, what you don't know won't hurt you.
And I think that's the issue right here. I think she had that realization. The person in this letter, the wife, she being the wife, she had the realization that probably, he was fucking around, but I don't know, so it's not going to kill me.
She didn't want to think about it.
She didn't want to think about it because like he is there for me. He is showing up for me. He's helping me going to chemo. But this little 23-year-old BIT sends me a DM like that destroys it all. So
she thinks she's helping me, but she's doing nothing. She's just venting. She's just bolstering up her ego. Yeah. She's just throwing her shit onto me. Yeah. And I got this cancer, and now every time I'm nauseous, all I think about is, my husband with his face in between this 23-year-old girl's legs. And that's the last thing I want to think of while I have cancer because it makes me doubly nauseous. Yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot going on here. The man ought not to have done that. If the lady's really that sick, he can either wait 5 years until she's better and he can have his wife back. Hey, you wait 5 years, if you've been married to this lady, you have kids, commit, man, commit or leave, do one or the other. But in this case, since he did step out, assuming that he only stepped out physically and it was just a little detour, then, she ought not to have done that. But still, the dude should have either waited for the wife to die or the wife to get better before he started, doing that sort of thing.
Well, let me ask you this question. What if he just been completely transparent with his wife? Like, yo, look, I love you to death. Yeah. I need sex. And it's like, I mean, you know.
You know what? I imagine some very, very, if it's the right guy, or even the right lady for that matter.
Yeah.
If it's the right wife,
or right relationship
of a man who has cancer, because you can't just give the hall pass to the spouse if the spouse isn't really on top of themselves. Like if they're driven by their emotions, if they're not really on their grind and organized, if they're more emotionally driven, more creative, free spirits, you can never tell somebody you can have a hall pass because I'm really sick, because they will fall for somebody.
Yeah.
They will fall in love You know, especially
they're desperate. It's like it's in everything.
Well, because it's the way women mate. It's if a woman has a vaginal orgasm with a dude, then that releases the oxytocin in her, and then that's the bonding molecule. Whereas with dudes, we don't get the bonding molecule for having intercourse with women we barely know. We get the bonding molecule for having intercourse with women that we know well and that we really like a lot. And so that's that's the trick, ladies. Make sure you spend a lot of time with the guy. Make sure he really starts to like you a lot, because then when he does sleep with you and you do finally allow it, so stop doing it on the first, second, or third time. Come on, cut that out. But when you do finally allow it, then he's gonna bond with you the way you bond with him. That's the trick. That's why it was always, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. And then it became really short wait. 3 dates. Which, of course, 3 dates really, for most of us, became
3 hours.
3 hours. Let's start the first hour at the bar, the second hour on the sofas, and the third hour at the bar across the street. That's 3 dates, and then you're going home together. And it works almost every time, because in their minds, it's always, well, it feels like 3 different dates.
But I'm gonna say something. All my long-term relationships have been like one-night stands that kept on going.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
well, it turned out well for you. But imagine how many other long-term relationships might have been possible had she not given it up the first night. Maybe she gave it up on the 5th night.
Yeah.
And you just enjoyed her company so much. It's like, she's cool. She's so cool. I really like her so much. She's not letting me, kiss her too much with tongue or hold her too hard with her hand. But I can see there's something here, and she's really great. And if we just wind up being friends, that's cool too. But on the 5th time, then you hit it. It's like, oh, I'm marrying this girl. I'm marrying this girl. And that's the key. Come on, figure it out. Where are your fathers?
I think a lot of women already, I guess some do, some don't. I mean, but I think, desperation comes into play. I think a lot of women, when they're like dating some guy that they really, really like, they feel like they feel that pressure to put out.
Yeah, I better put it out before I lose him. But sorry. I mean, if he's particularly handsome, and if you're particularly confident, then you're putting out on the first night is almost certainly likely to repel him in certain ways, in the ways that you want. Because if he's particularly handsome and particularly confident, then that means that he's got a lot of options. So if you make it too easy for him, then he doesn't get to know you first, then it's less likely he'll bond with you. But if he has to get to know you first, like let's say the really handsome guy who's really confident, and you know him from work or from some kind of a thing, and you guys really hit it off, and you always enjoy each other. You guys always get a big smile on your faces when you see each other, and then you hit it. That's your best chance to get him to stick around, because he's got real emotions for you.